Off and on the clock, we have a fun show on tap today. We're going to catch up on some preseason week 2 news. We're going to talk about a new contest Underdog just dropped literally like an hour ago. It's called the Pick Six, very unique structure. We've never seen roster settings like this for Underdog draft games. So we'll dive into that. And then finally, our main event today, the Big Eliminator is launched, and it has a very different structure than the flagship Eliminator contest that we've been talking about all summer. So we're going to discuss some strategy for that and then hop in a big Eliminator draft. I'm Pete with John and Nez. This is Off and On the Clock. Let's go. All right, fellas, John and Nez back for Off and On the Clock. We only have a couple more of these until we switch to our in-season schedule. We're also going to have a very big announcement and fun show literally a week from today here that we are very excited to share with you guys. But with all that said, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. I forgot to tell you guys, so I'm wearing this White Marlin shirt. This is the White Marlin Open. I forgot to tell you guys like a story from my vacation from a few weeks ago whenever I was in Ocean City. They have this White Marlin Open tournament, and first prize wins like $4 million for catching a white marlin. It's nuts. And it's like this big like hangout. People just like go in this like big like lawn area up in the bay where there's a bunch of yachts and fishing boats that pull up, and they hook the fish on a scale and they weigh it. And you can catch like yellowfin, all types of fish. And they have like consolation prizes if you like bring in like a sick like blue tail or yellowtail. But the kicker here is Michael Jordan enters it every single year. So he pulled up with his boat called Catch 23, by the way. Sick name.
Sick name.
That has like the name to end all boat names.
It's got like it used to have like the elephant print of his shoe, like you like on like the Jordan 3 on the bottom. So sick. Yeah. And his boat's $20 million. And he comes into old Ocean City, Maryland every year for the White Marlin Open I don't even think it's about the money. I think it's just like the competition. You know, he just like wants to kick these locals' asses in a fishing competition. But I totally forgot to tell you that because I got this sick shirt.
Yeah. So how close were you to Michael Jordan? Like were you watching?
When we got there on the last day because the weather's kind of shitty. We got there the last day and saw him. Like I was like 50 yards, you know.
That's cool though.
But like, yeah, no, dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. It's just like so cool. Like Michael Jordan should not know Ocean City, Maryland, and he's there every summer.
That's sweet, man. That's super cool, dude. That guy's so into like outdoor sports, golf, and NASCAR too. Like he's got NASCAR team and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. I didn't know you could get big money like that. Like $4 million up top. Like that's nothing to mess around about. That's very cool. The only way that
I was just wondering, like, did they advertise that like Jordan's going to be a part of it? I feel like that'd be such a huge thing, or do they let him keep a low profile?
No, it's not like come see Michael Jordan at the White Marlin Open. Like, no, these people are just like, no, they're just there to like drink, hang out, and have fun, and then hopefully see a white marlin get hooked on a scale.
That's pretty cool,
That's
man.
Incredible, dude.
The only way that could be better if his boat was named Catch 45.
It's got to be 23. It's so much closer to the 22. You know.
I'm being facetious, but like the 45 is one of those jerseys that I just need to get now, and like that was like a mental reminder there because that's one I want to have in the closet.
Got it.
That's incredible. Sorry. There you go. Next year, you got to get in there in that competition, Nez, so you can go.
Once I take down BBM, I can get myself a humble little boat and go head to head with MJ in the White Marlin Open.
Ooh, a little Grady White.
There you go. All right. Preseason week 2. I mean, we obviously have the Bill storyline, the biggest storyline in fantasy sports right now. We can obviously get your guys' takes on that, but also any other additional preseason week 2 news that piqued your guys' interest. It's kind of like the last week for things being really interesting, right? Because we're going to have so many starters and guys resting in week 3 and week 4. But what caught your guys' eye?
I mean, I'm kind of sad about this Anthony Richardson situation this morning. Yeah. That one's got the bags feeling not so hot. I mean, yeah, the thesis of the play was maybe he's not going to start the whole season, but I was hoping he'd get more than the other guy gets the longest leash in the world treatment. So that one has me a little bummed out right now. I think the biggest takeaway so far is maybe it's a Bill conversation, maybe it's a Ollie Gordon conversation, maybe it's a Todd Brooks conversation. It's just the back end of draft boards right now are littered with running backs that we are going to be low owned in the contest and could potentially have some form of contingent value or newfound value. And it's kind of like this double bubble of what do we do with this right now? Is it real or are we just jamming zeros like Audric Estime last year? So yeah, I think it's really interesting to parse through that.
Yeah, I think for me, man, I'll dip my toes into the overreaction waters here for my take, and that's the Brock Bowers stuff. It's preseason. I really don't want to care too much about that, but I think the point with the Brock Bowers stuff with Michael Mayer out snapping him in the preseason, who really cares? At the end of the day, though, Michael Mayer, really good prospect, pretty decent draft capital, new coaching staff that wants to run the ball. Who do you think they would rather have out there blocking for Ashton Genty with a not really good O-line if they're out there trying to run the football? They don't even want to risk Brock blocking probably. It's probably going to be Michael Mayer out here doing a lot of blocking. I'm not saying that it's all FUD sound the alarms. I think I say all that to say is that Brock Bowers cannot take a hit to his projection and stay in the second round. He just can't. He has to do what he did last year, which was unbelievable, and improve on that to be worth his pick. So all I'm saying is that right now I think Bowers is it's a tough sell on Underdog right now.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even been clicking that much Bowers, and yet I still feel like it's just not a huge deal. Not saying if that happens all season, it's definitely a huge deal. I agree with that. I just think it's the classic, hey, let's get our other good tight ends some reps with the starters. If Brock Bowers ever got hurt, they would ask a ton of Michael Mayer, and they'd be like, hey, so they want to make sure he has a little bit of a rapport, with Geno, I think. So I don't know. I still think that Brock Bowers is going to be a huge part of their offense. The point is can he score touchdowns at a high clip? And if he's coming off the field in goal line situations, I mean, Pat has written about this before. I think his paper metric and just looking on who's on the field, which allows for those little play action touchdowns and type of things. If he's off the field for that definitely is going to ding it. But yeah, I mean, almost kind of dovetailing this to John's point, I have been doing so many elite quarterback and elite tight end builds right now because this deep zero RB stuff seems really, really viable with, like John said, it's the last 5 rounds, I just want to go running back. And I feel like this is go time. The whole reason we're patient, we're trying to avoid zeros right now. We're trying to get low owned plays. It's everything is here now. We have new information. We have low owned guys. We have more clarity on targets. I just feel so comfy locking up elite onesies right now.
100%.
Yeah, it's a good shout there. I got to ask you guys though, is it a bit of a fool's errand? Where we look at running backs are always going to play and perform better than any auxiliary player in preseason because they're playing with contingent cast, which is lower, whether it be offensive line, whether it be pass catching weapons, whatever. So the running backs do always tend to be the quote unquote poppers this time of year. We haven't had any major injuries at the position that have really flipped things. The biggest thing we've had is this B-Rob trade rumor thing, but is it a bit of a fool's errand where we're feeling all warm and fuzzy about this, but these players don't matter at all? Or is this good process?
No, I don't think it's about the results on the field. It's just knowing who is the most optimal click when doing zero RB. I don't care about preseason box scores. It's way more who's the guy. And we kind of have way more information on who the guys are behind the starters right now. Or at least we can feel more confident about it.
Sure, yeah.
And my favorite thing to exploit right now, and I was talking about this a little bit on Best Ball Breakfast, is we have some of these situations where we found the guy who we've been drafting all summer isn't that far ahead of the guy right behind him. And now you can get these huge ownership discounts and make a better information bet. So like a few off the top of my head, not taking Pat Bryant, but taking a Troy Franklin or Devon Vele, not taking a Jalen Wright, but taking an Ollie Gordon. These situations where it's like, not only are you getting the new information push, but you're getting like a legit fraction of the ownership. And like, those are the spots that I want to be like very mindful in just hammer, because I think that's what this drafting window is all about. I've tried to think of some other good ones of guys I'm going out of my way. Some of them are just catching up on guys. Like I wasn't taking a lot of Isaac Tesla. I'm starting to mix in a decent amount of him. Do you guys have anyone like on your short list? Another good example, right, would be Trey Harris versus Keandre Lambert-Smith, where it's like both those guys, how they're being used seem very similar upside bets. Trey Harris has been drafted 100% clip, and KLS is going to be what, like 15% if lower?
Yeah, I prefer KLS there for sure.
Yeah.
I think he's very draftable in that regard. Another one, put on a homer hat here for a moment. With the Steelers, I think Calvin Austin was getting drafted. Like, at least like if you were looking for a Steelers wide receiver too, it was Calvin Austin. From my vantage point, from what I'm reading, and from a little bit of flash in preseason, Roman Wilson, like far and away the wide receiver too. There, he can do the Calvin Austin stuff, but better. So. It does seem like Roman Wilson is, if you are looking for a wide receiver in the 18th round that's going to run routes, it does really, really seem like Roman Wilson's the guy. He had good draft capital. He ran a sub 4.40. And Aaron Rodgers, like, this is probably bad, but do you guys think it's good that Aaron Rodgers has said, like, more than once, I'm hard on Roman Wilson. He's hard on himself. I'm hard on him because he's like a really good talent and we want to coach him up because he is that good of a player? Or is that like mega bearish?
I think it's bullish.
Yeah, Rodgers has always been one of those guys that picked his guys too, right? Like he always was like, oh yeah, Randall Cobb, oh yeah, Alan Lazard. Like he always had like someone. So if he goes, yeah, I'm being hard on this guy because I think he can be good, I don't think that can be a bearish sign.
I hope not.
I think what I'd like to imagine that every time he looks at Roman Wilson, he just pictures it's Randall Cobb, and he's just, as long as he can just trick himself into that charade, he will be in his happy place. Yeah. Someone in the chat mentioned Jalen McMillan. I did just see that news right before we went live. Yeah. Sounds really bad with that kind of neck injury. They're thinking he might be out until after their bye, which I believe would put him, until like week 9. Full steam ahead for Igbukah. Nothing slowing that down. Anything else though that you like? Yeah. Does it make you want to swing back to a little more Godwin? Not that like McMillan was going to affect Godwin, but like, what are you doing with that one?
I mean, at least he's not on IR or on POP, right? Like, so there's that. But yeah, I guess it's noteworthy that they made the move for McMillan before they made the move for regular season for Godwin there. So I don't know. Yeah. Can you mix in a cheeky scroll EF down, wake up pissed off Trey Palmer in the last round there? I don't know. Makes my go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, I don't think it's Trey Palmer. And if it wasn't Trey Palmer, you want to go with the vet, it would be Sterling Shepard, who's still there. But my antenna is up big time toward the rookie Tez Johnson. Dude, they talk about Tez Johnson a ton. Like way more buzz than you would normally see from a late round rookie in a wide receiver room. Like for a moment there, they were talking about him way more, like in a way more excited tone than Igbukah. So I'm like, if Godwin does miss the first 4 games of the season, I'm going to be tempted to take like a share or two or Tez Johnson because they love him. And then Cade Otton, I think it gets a pretty big boost too here.
That's a suck out for me because I had way too much Cade Otton by accident because I was jamming that Miami and Bucks game and it was just like the lazy backstack tight end every time. Talked about it on the Solver series when I was looking at it and I was like, ooh, that's a mistake right there. Like 23% Cade Otton. Oh.
Yeah, I remember even at the beginning of like rookie mini camps, like they were mentioning like Tez Johnson alongside Igbukah. They like kept mentioning those guys together. Obviously very different draft capital. But yeah, I feel like he could be, you're hoping for a little more than this, but he could be the Bucks, Kevontae Turpin is kind of what you're hoping for there, or their Calvin Austin type, where it's just like he gets loose for a couple 80-yard touchdowns, and if he gives you like 2 weeks of 15 plus points at an 18th round price tag, like he'll pay off his cost pretty easily. I like that shout. And another classic example, Jalen McMillan drafted 100% of the summer. Tej Johnson going to be a sub 10% guy there as well. Any other ones here before we talk about this new contest on Underdog?
What'd you guys think about Tinsley last night? Like, any concern for Yoshivas or like some contingent upside? We talk about the contingent upside of like, T. Higgins if anything happened to Chase. We talk about the Yoshivas and Gesicki contingent. Like, what about this Tinsley guy?
You're gonna have to
I don't know who this is. You're educating me.
He scored twice last night. He looked sick with it. The broadcast was going on and on about it. He had like 2 catches.
I don't even know who he plays for or what position he is.
Bengals wide receiver. That was the contingent narrative.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough. There's such a condensed offense, but who was it last year? Or maybe it was even, who's the little, like, was it Irwin? Trenton Irwin would have some big games. Like, we've seen guys cycle through here on the Bengals, occasionally that second tight end, your Drew Sample pops up. So maybe I honestly had never even heard him buzzed about anywhere until you mentioned him. So I will pay attention. I'm now woke to Tinsley here. I do want to just pull up this comment here. Tate says drafting best ball teams before mid to late August is officially the dumbest waste of money of all time. So I disagree in that the proposition of drafting early versus late has always been the same. We talk about this with anything with a time box contest. We talk about this with the dailies. In season, there are advantages to drafting early and there are advantages to drafting late. I've looked at some of my teams. I pulled a Liam Murphy and looked at some of my teams from May. Some of them are absolute dog shit. Some of them are fucking super teams. I have the cleanest team ever. I drafted with Sean on Best Ball Breakfast that has, Omarion Hampton, Trevion Henderson, Dylan Sampson, J.K. Dobbins, all at their extremely old prices. Nobody hurt, whatever. It's a fucking wagon. Like, that's why you draft early, so you can get a few of those teams. You are going to, have to crack a few eggs to make that omelet. And now we get the information advantage, but you're going to pay a 9th round price tag for JCM. There's a ton of teams that have Bill in the 18th round that are going to enjoy those shares late. So it's the same old. There's advantages to both. One is not inherently better than the other. And I've always said you play to your strengths. Like, if your strength is interpreting all this information, then capitalizing, great. If you can kind of see where the wind is blowing and you know which guys are going to kind of move up and down, then draft early. I don't know. That's my soapbox rant.
No. It's a really good rant because we talk about this all the time with the daily stuff where it's like, ADP values shift dramatically throughout the day. ADP values sometimes shift dramatically throughout this elongated draft window, right? Like, it's just one slate, and sometimes draft early good, sometimes draft early shit, sometimes draft late good, sometimes draft late shit. Like, it's just like, that's the nature of like the context of any given year. Like, if you go back 2-3 years ago when you had the J.K. Dobbins, preseason injury, and then Gus Edwards gets steamed up the boards and stuff, like, people had more zeros in their lineups because they were drawing dead from the jump from a guy who gets hurt in like the 3rd round. That hasn't happened this year. So that's making drafting early look better, but that's not to say something like that can't happen in here. I also, Pete, I just brought one up there, not to derail, but like, people are like, hey man, like, oh, I can't, the inverse is being said as well, where it's like, that was the comment in the chat there. The inverse is true here, where other people are saying, man, can't draft BBM, never going to get those values anymore or whatever. I drafted this 4 minutes before the show started here, and I get HN at 22 and Chase Brown at 27 in a BBM.
What happened to Chase Brown? He's been going mid-second in every single draft.
Tosh Brooks looked good, bro. Didn't you watch the tape?
Wow.
Yeah, and I was drafting right beside Liam. Liam cooked up a nice one too. But like, you get Braylon Allen at his old price tag before the rise here. You get Golden at the old price tag before the rise. Like, there's still teams that can be made. People put too much onus in this binary take of good window versus bad window. It's all room dependent and information flow dependent.
And it's an illusion of control. We feel like we have more control right now because we have more information. But guess what? All 11 people in your lobby also have access to that same information. Now, if we could ever engineer something where you get to draft against May drafters with the information you have right now, then yes, by all means, wait to draft and use your teleportation device to run circles around them. But yeah, except in this draft where drafters didn't realize that Chase Brown is a mid-second round value right now. All right. Let's talk about this new contest. This dropped. Obviously, we're going to do Big Eliminator today. John can get it up on screen. The Pick Six. This is called 2025 Mini Best Ball. $5 entry, 50 entry max. It is only 4 rounds here, and what, a 6-person draft. How would you guys explain what's going on here?
Yeah, very similar vibe to the Batch Bros Brawl. Very similar. Obviously, half the price point of the Batch Bros Brawl, so that $5 price point more enticing for people. But very Week 17 heavy there with a lot of money up for grabs with that 225, and then 1 out of 6, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5. Shorter rosters, something that we flirted with making the Batch Bros Brawl was 10 rounds, and there were some limitations, and now they've made it possible. So this is going to have its own independent ADP as well, which is a nice, great wrinkle there. Yeah, Nez, you've been in the streets a little bit. What have you been seeing?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is really cool. Only 10 rounds. It's a 1-2-2-1 format, so it's the same format or a different format than Battle Royale, where you have to start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. So you can start 3 running backs a week. So that's definitely what I'm leaning to. Dude, only 4 bench spots is that's tight. That is tight. So it has me thinking a little differently about how I will approach this than when I first jumped in a lobby. When I first jumped in a lobby, I did two separate 2 QB teams. I'm kind of thinking to treat this more playoff best ball-y, where like I just get one elite and I leave it, because having those bench spots is going to be crucial for, picking up injuries and or just like trying to shoot more shots at spike weeks, especially in the playoffs. So it's a lot of fun. And my TLDR is jam running back. Jam it, jam it, jam it.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, to me, that was my read on it too, of playing it more skinny at quarterback. I think what you're adding, because you're going to be getting a good quarterback anyways, what you're adding with that QB2 there is very little functionally to the rest of the starting lineup size. And I guess the people will probably not want to do it because of the bye week issue, right? Like that's going to be what prevents people from doing it.
Yeah. The bye week for the quarterback and masking that to get through, and also like the condom nature of ensuring you have usable scores. Like it's way easier to have a usable quarterback score than it is to have a usable, 10th position roster score on a given week. So the 1 out of 6 advance rate, I don't know. Yeah, 1 out of 6, you can argue it both ways. Like 1 out of 6, it's like you either have to be perfect to get out of your pod initially anyways, so just one quarterback makes sense. Or if the alpha becomes, hey, people are sacrificing so many fantasy points, like by just punting weeks in my pod, that I should be the guy masking those weeks. So it might be a little room dependent if you see everybody else going 1 to just add a quarterback with your last bench spot. But I could see it both ways. If you're shooting like ceiling win the contest and you're building 50 of these, I think the 1 quarterback would be my initial alpha for sure.
Yeah, and then I mean that 225 seat final, that's no joke too. Like it does tilt it from, you can't just be jam the best plays, jam the best projected play at each turn. Like you're going to need a little correlation there. Like you're going to need that alpha stack that hits to like I would bet a lot of money that a stack probably, because with how small these lineups are, you're going to want access to that one game or that one stack that goes nuts.
Yeah, man. Just the fact that it's only 4 bench spots, guaranteeing yourself a bench spot every single week by taking a second quarterback, I think just does not feel good. Like 25% of your bench guaranteed. Now it doesn't feel great.
Now, as we talk it through though, like the one thing that is a reason whenever people try to like Galbrain the like one elite QB and BBM or whatever, and my biggest pushback is even if you get past that bye, if you make it to week 17, it is going to be because your quarterback went nuts 15 and 16, which means you're going to be holding hands with everybody else with the same quarterback at like a 40% ownership clip. So that could also happen here as well, where if you get there and you're Jaden Daniels, who just smashed all year, it's like you might feel a little bit better if you had that second quarterback who was 5% owned in the finals. That's the only thing I'm trying to think through.
So I don't totally disagree with that, but I think it's less true here with 1 out of 5. Like 1 out of 5, man. 20% of teams,
That's true.
Like that, especially because it's not 2 out of 10 and it's 1 out of 5. Like I think that really lends itself to having some more diversity in terms of the onesies and not necessarily like had to have it guys, unless of course have to have a guy emerges. Then that is everything.
Where do you think the scrolls come from? Like if we're jamming up the elite quarterbacks because you need that floor ceiling combo on a week to week basis. You're jamming the running backs on the upper echelon because you want to play 3 in the flex. Where do the scrolls? Is it all just that big pocket of wide receivers down to Golden, Ibuka, like there? Or what like Rashid Shaheed, like that's as far as you scroll kind of thing? Or where would you guys scroll?
I think so. I think it's the that sweet spot, right? Where you're probably taking on too much projection. I mean, wide receivers already wiped in that range, like I can't imagine going much further, especially if you can still get an ownership discount. Like, yeah, Rashid Shaheed feels like close to the line, right? You're probably looking at like the Keon Coleman types, the Jaden Higgins, like in that range where you're getting an ownership discount and guys who could realistically be difference makers down the stretch.
Yeah. No, that's a really interesting one. I do think that like tacking on like a scroll stack could potentially be beneficial, like a pass catcher that is like with one of your quarterbacks or your quarterback. I will probably scroll at like probably just one scroll because it's only 4 bench spots at a contingent running back play too. Like a Charbonnet or something along those lines. I'll mix in here and there, even though it's thin.
Yeah, I do think the running backs is where you can get way more creative with your scrolls. I think you can go way deeper. Like I think there's some running backs in the 150s, 160s that you could justify. Whereas the wide receiver, I think it's just so thin what you're playing for there. Because in BBM, a well-timed spike week or two from around 14 wide receiver can just pay off the costs like in an instant. Whereas, but that I don't think is going to pay the bills in this format. But if you get the, Bijan gets hurt and Tyler Algier is the starter for the rest of the year, like that can be a league-winning, unique, differentiating smash that actually hits your lineup all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good shout. Do you guys think, like, how many tight ends should get drafted in a given draft? Could any tight end after George Kittle be drafted in this contest?
What do you mean? Three people are going to have to take one after.
No, there's grouped.
It's wide receiver, tight end.
Oh, I just had the lead buried. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Then I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just those 3. Maybe Laporta. If you believe, maybe Hawkinson. If you think that he has some like sick early season upside, and then like. But like it seems like so thin. We're drafting the top 60 players.
Kittle's ahead of McBride right now for some reason.
That's weird. Show me where Hawk and Laporta are relative to the wide receivers. Like I want to see like what ownership range and what names we're comparing here.
Look at these names. I mean, there's
Laporta.
Hawk.
Laporta doesn't have an ADP yet, and he's around Jaden Reed, Jordan Addison, Juwan Jennings, Matthew Golden, and Hawks right beside him, beside Ricky Pearsall. Like I think you would take Pearsall every single time. You would take Golden every single time, right?
So because this just launched, these guys don't have an ADP. So we're going to say these guys are going to be on the fringe. We'd maybe ballpark their ownership down here in the like 30 to 40% range with these guys.
I might even go lower.
Lower?
What would you go, Nez? Yeah.
Way
it's
lower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd say like 10%.
So that swings it back a little bit for me. But if, like you said, if all things are equal, and you can get Ricky Pearsall or Golden or Jaden Reed at the same ownership percentage, then like it's a no-brainer.
Right.
If I do think like if it was closer, right, where you were like debating, like if those guys were 60, 70%, and then you're like, give me Hawk or Laporta at like 10 or 20, then it might swing back to that. So it'll be interesting to see where the ADP settles once we get a few drafts under here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys want to attempt to draft here?
Yeah, I think we got to rip one here. You want me to lead the charge?
What do you guys think? Like, part of me wishes tight end was included because I do think it would be similar to like the BR slate dynamics where it's like tight end 4 through 7 would be just like the easiest fades ever to get to the Andrews, Ingram, Njoku tier or whatever. But I guess I understand why they did it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they did it, they would probably need to do like 2 more rounds if you added a tight end.
Yeah. It would probably have to be 12. Yeah. We got the 1.05 here, gents. First go for me here. I know Nez had a couple this morning, but one thing I wanted to say macro about the site today. This is not the only new addition. For this contest, 30-second clocks are back. Shout out to the draft team for doing that, because one of our pieces of feedback after Badge Bros Brawl was 20 was quick in 6-person drafts, and you want to multi-table, and doing 20 while multi-tabling was not overly feasible. So multi-tabling these with 30 is going to be a lot of fun and really help boost the fill rates here. The other one is we have ADP officially for 4-person draft contests as of today. So traditionally speaking, those ADPs were reserved for only 6 persons, but the MLB After Dark slate and the golf slate, which are both 4-person drafts, have it.
Wow.
Incredible.
That's a big change. That's a big change.
It's going to be a big wrinkle for Primetime Palooza season.
Very big. Also, Nez, I see you just mentioned here too. We earlier today, a marathon promo was announced. Let's get our pick here.
I'm running back here.
Yeah, CMC or Barkley looks good to me.
Whom would you guys prefer?
I'm still Barkley. I don't. I mean, like, could you make the case for CMC in a different style contest? Sure, but like, I refuse to overthink Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Fine.
Yeah. So this, or we'll make our pick here, and then we can talk about this this marathon promo. So it goes Chase, Robinson, Lamb, Gibbs, and Barkley here. There goes CMC. Nez, you said you had been doing a bunch of double running back starts.
That's my preference. I could maybe be talked into JJ, but I'd probably go Derrick Henry here.
Let's do it. JJ.
All right.
Pete, JJ or Henry?
Let's do Jefferson here. I do think like there's that single game tier break ceiling with some of these alpha guys right here, and Jefferson still has that 40-point upside in him for us.
I agree.
And especially now that he's back at practice, you eliminate that that little concern there.
Yeah, back at practice guys this week. Stafford, Neighbors, Scatabo, Jefferson, and somebody else I was forgetting top of mind today as well.
Yeah, those are for sure the big ones. Yeah. But I shared that in the private chat, the marathon promo Underdog's doing.
Yeah,
you can enter 5 teams, get $15 in bonus funds, and you can do that 2 times. So that's between today and tomorrow, and you can do slows as well with that. So I will be in there. I like my bonus cash. I may throw some ranks together. You may see me making some snap picks, but I will be in 10 of these.
So it's basically you get 1 entry free. So buy 4, get 5 each of the next 2 days.
Yeah, 10 total. 10 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, good deal.
Very nice there. Also, since I know we have some new people coming too, I wanted to make sure I mentioned this one on Best Ball Breakfast, but new customers now, if you guys haven't signed up and if you're watching the show and haven't,
you too.
yeah, play $5, get $50 free in bonus funds. I don't want to quote, someone in the chat said it works in tandem with the deposit match. So I didn't see that like in the fine print, but if you're able to pull that off, take advantage of that.
Oh, man.
I love the idea of getting Lamar or Daniels. I do think that's a pretty big cutoff. Like 5'6" quarterback in this contest feel very bad. Like I don't want to get shut out of one of those.
Yeah, I'm cool with Lamar.
Yeah.
Let's do this then.
Okay.
Because we can push.
Because you can
Lamar
push it because he's not going to take both.
Yeah.
And if he takes none, you get Lamar back. If not, you just take Daniels or Hurts. Who do you guys prefer, Daniels or Hurts?
I'm Daniels of those two,
Daniels.
especially on a Barkley team.
Yeah, Barkley team.
John, you're still neighbors over Amon-Ra, even though he has a third injury this offseason?
I think
he did
so.
practice. He is back at practice.
Back at practice, baby.
With a shoulder, a toe, and a back.
Fuck yeah, I got all those body parts too, bro.
All right.
I get it. You're not wrong, Ness. I probably.
How do you guys fine tuning the quarterback strategy for this? What do you guys think about this? If it's your number one goal is to get one of the top 4 quarterbacks and play it as just a 1 QB build. If you do not get one of those top 4, you scroll and avoid Burrow, Mahomes, and then maybe consider taking 2, where you do like Fields and May, you do Kyler and Jordan Love. And again, I don't even necessarily, maybe we could even get back to just 1 there, but I do think like scrolling past that 5-6 is the equivalent of scrolling past the Laporta Hawk tier if there were six tight ends.
Yeah, I would agree for sure. I would make it if we did do a second QB, I would for sure scroll for it.
The 101 most overutilized thing in this contest is going to be Burrow to Chase, Burrow to Higgins, right?
Yeah, but is it good? Probably.
It's probably fine. Yeah, it's definitely fine.
Well, here's the other thing though. I think you have to push the shit out. Like, so Burrow just went in that same round there. That feels bad to me. Like, I want to try to push those. Like, and I guess we'll just have to see how draft behaviors shake out. Like, our drafters tacking on a second Burrow when they have Lamar or not. But I don't want to play sticker price there.
There's like running back here. Tyreek's got some FUD right now. Higgins is kind of a tier break in BBM.
I like Kyron.
Yeah, Kyron's good.
Are we Kyron over Hampton now that Staff looks like he's, he didn't get full reps in yesterday, but he was still out there and looked good in those little highlight videos. And Hampton has all the O-line concerns and Najee trending.
I'm bigly Kyron over Hampton.
Boys are back, baby. Glad to have you guys back on the squad.
Bigly.
Welcome home, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the other thing you have to realize, right? Like in BBM in an 18 roster, you can chaperone the rookies more easily. You can do that thing where I'm like, I am going to pay premium for these guys because I can draft an Austin Eckler late. I can draft a Nick Chubb late and deal with them. Yeah. But in this contest, you don't have that luxury. So I think it does make the rookies slightly tougher bets.
I do love T. Higgins.
What do you think?
Yeah, Higgins looks good.
Higgins does feel like a big pass catching. I mean, maybe Evans falls up to that tier or slides up to that tier eventually. But
yeah, we've seen
4.
What's that?
4 running backs you've been taking on most of these thus far?
Yeah. So we said we would like to scroll at QB for our last QB here,
or are we just going to rock a 1 QB build with Daniels?
Yeah, we'll rock one with the top 4 and a week 12 bye.
Okay, so then it would be 4 or 5 at running back and receiver. So I would probably lean 5 for running back because you start the same amount. But we'll see who's there. Like it doesn't. I don't think we have to force a 5th if the better projecting player is a receiver, which we are like rapidly approaching. After the Cook tier, it gets pretty wishy-washy.
Yeah.
That's peak contingent scroll territory.
Would you want to make the entire bench out of contingency plays?
I mean,
I don't know.
Not all of it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But like the last 2 for sure.
2 perhaps? Yeah.
Like these are, I mean, we're only talking about like the top 53. Like we're talking about 40. This is like 4 rounds of BBM. Like the scrolls you could scroll to round 10 and be sacrificing less than like 1.5 fantasy points per week.
Yeah. I think I definitely.
Ooh, that's a beacon in the night right there. Trey Hendo still there.
Yeah, I was going to start talking about Hendo or Harvey too as kind of like that last call of then like mega scrolling.
I would love RJ Harvey on this team.
More than Tony Redacted. Interesting to see Tony Redacted's ADP has vaulted up to RB19 in this contest. BBM he's still RB like 25, but people are pulling him up to 60.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if they did some sort of like math from the Badge Bros Brawl to this or something to get these ADPs. I'm not sure, but yeah, no, I would definitely prefer Harvey to Tony Pollard on this team.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that one's close, but I'm just.
Well, I thought you asked me that. I thought you literally just asked me that.
No, I was just noting that it's interesting that it's considerably higher in this contest, kind of like forecasting for market move in BBM.
Got it.
Yeah, there's no reason to take a tight end not named Bowers or McBride.
Yeah, I mean, I do love, like, I think there's a tier break after Adams and JSN at wide receiver, like a pretty big one.
Whom do you prefer?
I like both those guys. Adams now with the Stafford stuff is completely fine.
Yeah, Adams feels good. Adams feels good. I got some fucking dude on my doorbell, bro.
Nobody has more visitors than Nez. Popular neighborhood, dude. Yeah, we got a double Rams bet now too. So we got Naked Jaden. And then we got Saquon, Kyron, Hendo, JJ, Neighbors, Higgins, Adam.
Give me 1 second. Fucking hell.
Yeah. So Kittle, who did Kittle go right? He went right before we took Adams. And that's where I do think it's like the positional advantage in BBM, like I think you can justify it, but when all things are equal, I just can't take Kittle over JSN and Adams. I just don't know how.
I can't even take him over JMO for like the one isolated ceiling shot in the finals.
Yeah.
This is
this is scroll down territory. I will say, like, I do love the, like, if someone can break fantasy from this range, it's definitely Harvey.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm like down to scroll.
Re-spooked. Long time. Listen.
The other break fantasy guy down here that's gonna get a little bit of an ownership discount is Hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's not gonna get drafted 100%, and like
I think.
Yeah, I'm JMO here.
Yeah, I would maybe go Ted Arroyo, but just because I feel like you can kind of middle the faster start and getting some monster upside, but the single game upside is pretty huge.
Yeah.
All right, let's go single game upside. This is going to leave us with a 4 running back build. Are we going to scroll for that 4th running back?
I think so.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Okay.
Easy pushing us to a Debo scroll, which is pretty fun with all this running back uncertainty. And we talked about how valuable the stack would be in the week 17. Now that's an inspired scroll.
I'm surprised he's not drafted yet, and I'm like fully serious.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think the Debo scroll would be fun, especially on Jaden teams, but I do think we need running back on the. I don't think you want to go to battle with 3.
Do you know what my thing would be? We do the same thing we did with Kyron and Adams, and we do Aaron Jones and Jefferson. Like Aaron Jones strikes me as that kind of like sweet spot as far as a scroll.
Yeah, you don't gotta convince me to take Aaron Jones. You've got plenty. Right.
Yeah,
now.
it's like he's far enough, but he's not like an insane only contingent play.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Fun one there. And then no overlapping buys outside of Rams and Detroit. I think that's actually a huge thing in this contest, and something we didn't really talk about off the jump is because with so many fewer roster spots there, the buys can cannibalize you way harder than in an elongated roster format.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I hate sweating bye weeks, but at least toward the last 2 rounds, if you're in a pickle, you should probably be thinking about it.
Yeah, sure. Good squad, guys. 1, 4, 5. First of the pick 6 there. Jaden Daniels, Saquon Barkley, Kyron Williams, and no Aaron Jones, who doesn't even have an ADP yet. Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, Jameson Williams. Hard to create an ugly team in this contest.
Yeah, I think I liked Easy's idea of going Debo over JMO there, just because you're getting the stack and the correlation there with Jaden. But I like the team there.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, sweet. Let's hop in a big eliminator, and I feel like we can kind of talk through strategy as we go. Do you want me to do this on mine?
Yeah, sure. It doesn't matter at all. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you kind of got more of the big eliminator alpha knowledge right now, so you at the helm is going to be better than me.
Well, yeah. So my guy Chris, who shared a bunch of sim research that I used to make the initial Deposit Kingdom video. He did a rerun with kind of his same stuff there for the big eliminator. And so we'll talk about the structure here and stuff as we go. But here's the thing. So it's the $100, but this is completely different than the main eliminator, which was 6 of 12 week 1, and then 15 straight weeks of head-to-head matchups followed by a 3-person week 17 finale. This is the same structure as last year's big eliminator, which is more almost like guillotine style, where it's 10 of 12 advance, 8 of 10, 8 of 10, 6 of 8, 6 of 8. So 4 of 6, and then 2 of 4 in week 7, which is when the payouts start as well. And so it's a really different contest in a lot of ways, but the biggest being the variance is completely smoothed out with these bigger pods. You know, the head-to-head stuff introduces a ton of randomness. And then on top of it, it's like more of a floor game than it is like a median game, in that like you're just trying not to be in the bottom, 20th, 25th percentile of these weekly pods. Looks like we still need 6 more here if you guys want to join us in the big elim. But the really interesting thing, you look at these percentages for the advancement: 10 of 12, 8 of 10, 8 of 10, 6 of 8, 6 of 8, 4 of 6. And then boom, in week 7, we hit 2 of 4, which is the biggest jump as far as now you're in a 50-50 flip like we were in a lot of those other eliminators. So when Chris ran his stuff, he came to the conclusion week 7 is all that matters, or at least the one that matters the most, which is a pretty interesting wrinkle to think through here.
It's wild because there's only 2 teams on bye that week, and now that explains your thumbnail here, Pete, that the QB1 and QB2 are the only QBs on bye that week. So that is a fascinating wrinkle.
Especially because I think you could argue their price tags were pretty rich as is, and then you kind of throw in that here and wondering how much will drafters actually adjust to that. versus are they just going to go at the same price that they did in the regular eliminator?
Do you want me to hop in since it's really just like 1 week?
Yeah. Do you guys both want to hop in and we'll just all draft?
Sure.
I do. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I've got 3 more left here, and I'll get my drafts in anywhere that I can take them.
Yeah. No, I think normally we like drafting together, but if we need our bullets to fill a room, we will do it. It looks like my guy, Chris here too. And Chris is who did all the eliminator research. One other week 7 thing is the payouts start in week 8, I believe. So that's another double whammy. Like it's a week 7 bubble right there. As far as if you also have the buys and crash out right before you cash.
Right.
He also, one other fun thing he sent me, because we talked about that Mathology lineup, the nutted BBM lineup, and how that would have just been the nuts in this style contest, or sorry, the flagship one. He actually didn't have the best team in this version, partly because his week 7 score was a little lower than his other weeks. And so just that little dip in week 7, despite having a juggernaut, ended up actually hurting him in this specific contest, which is, again, doubling down on that week 7 being pretty important across a bunch of simulations.
That's wild that it like really made that much of a difference.
Yeah.
I'm definitely playing this a little differently than the main, obviously, but like from a bye week standpoint, but from structurally, I'm leaning even harder into a more extreme roster construction in this one, I think.
Like, what do you mean by extreme?
So I am like super duper median score pilled in these contests. So I'm like very, very heavy into the running backs and like pulling up running backs like around plus, just so I can like I've started off 4 running backs on some of these teams. Which doesn't necessarily seem to be the norm. I have definitely gotten some DMs like, bro, take your test this morning. Like, no, I just think it's the move.
Yeah, for sure. It's the, and I also think it does kind of, in the regular eliminator, I still take on like a decent amount of like rookie stuff late, because I am trying to hit on that kind of like league winning breakout, just because your team needs to improve big time as the season goes on, because you're just head to head. This one, I do think you can skew a little bit more. I don't want to say away from upside. You still obviously are going to need a juggernaut to like take this down. We should also mention the week 17 does end up in just a 1v1 there. But I think it's a little more like anti having to like take on the rookie risk, I guess is what I'm stumbling around saying.
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that you advance so many teams in each round, I think it's not the worst thing in the world to take rookies on here. You can definitely withstand it.
Especially for the first 3 weeks there. I don't know. Like I'm really fixated on this bye week thing, and I haven't fully processed that before getting to the rookies question here. Like my eyes instantly go to like, you want to prioritize week 5, get the bye out of the way early when the pods are bigger and sustainable and your advance rate chances are better. And then you kind of go. The problem with the week 5 bye is you'd be stacking the shit out of Atlanta, the Bears, the Packers, and the Steelers. So I guess maybe it elevates.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, nothing. Maybe that should elevate the price tag of like Josh Jacobs in the second round or something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think so.
Christopher says you notice week 12 is 18 of 23. That is a
math. Yeah, they were definitely like trying to make that math work, and had to land on 23 for week 12. But yeah, that to me makes, it's the week. It's like, that's week 12 here is week 14 in the main eliminator for me. Like those week 12, I mean, there's only 2 teams. Those teams are huge targets for me, for week 12, or maybe it's more than two teams, but
yeah, 78% advance and in the money already. Week 12 is the single best buy, which is a good one to know. Week 8 is a tricky one just in the contest itself because there's so many week 8 buys at the top of the draft board. That's a 4 of 6 there for 66% compared to the 78% in week 12.
Here comes the spicy marks then. QB1 should be Jaden Daniels in the 3rd round.
I mean,
yeah,
you're getting no argument from me on that. That's kind of what I'm doing.
No,
right.
I think you can make that argument straight up, much less cost adjusted.
Huh.
Well, on the bright side, guys, is that we can't all get eliminated week 1. So good luck.
Let me get this draft board up here. All right, we're off to the races here. Your heroes have Roto Run has 1-4. I have 1-9 and Nez has 1-11. We got a full friends and family in here. JGFC, Go AZ Cards, Dark Sheep, Schmo, Line of Scrimmage. I don't recognize Tony Sal's. We got Mathology, of course. I don't know Tate and then Dab K. So yeah, we
Tate's always hanging out in the baseball stuff.
That's awesome.
Who is?
Tate's always hanging out in the stream chat for
nice.
The baseball stuff.
Beautiful.
Okay. Excuse me.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus. In the middle of the week, the biggest week of all time, higher or lower 2.5 QBs for JGFC.
Ooh. If anyone can fight through the week 7 buy dynamics with a Lamar Josh Allen double tap at the 2-3 turn, it's JGFC.
Joe Burrow flex seal.
I'm not gonna question
snap
JGFC
picks Jamar Chase. I gotta be honest, man. I'm at my brain is so galaxy sized that I'm thinking about taking Bijan 101 in this.
Well, yeah. I got Bijan at 4 if I would like it. Yeah, we just talked about that week 5 buy, so I'm gonna take that one.
6 of 8 for week 5.
Yeah.
All right, we are off to the races. Big Eliminator contest. You got to think about this pretty differently than the other Eliminator, I think, for the most part. Obviously, fast start still important, but and I think Crutch has mentioned in the chat, Jordan Addison, some of these like shorter bye week stuff is certainly far less of an issue here. Let's see, what do I want to do here? I would like to get a running back. I guess with the HN stuff, we can do Genty. We'll get past that week 7 bye there, and we will grab Genty here.
Yeah, I like that. Achan feels really tough to take here. I know it's still 10 out of 12 week 1, and if he's banged up, you could probably survive, but that's not the ideal use of a round 1 pick in the Eliminator, is to not have them play. So I think you're going to see a pretty big fall for Achan in this room. I'm gonna take Jonathan Taylor, pick 111.
Yeah. There you go.
He's not necessarily like. So I talked about him being a smash in the Eliminator. Definitely less of a smash in the Big Eliminator, but I still want running backs just because his bye week is 2 of 4. Objectively not ideal, but you're in the money at least.
Yeah, that's a good format change specific take there. JT, though, good news, man, with Daniel Jones at the helm, not getting those goal line touches usurped from Anthony Richardson now.
That's a good point. That should be major projection increase for his touchdown scoring for sure. I took Amon-Ra too, 2nd round.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead, man. I do love BTJ, but with the double week 8 there with Genty, I'll take the Bucky week 9 bye there, jump that week 7 and get that double RB start.
Yeah, that's sick.
And Nez starts with Amon-Ra and JT. We got our Mathology took Derrick Henry at 1-8. John, what are you thinking here at the back end of round 2?
I wanted Jacobs. That's what I was thinking. I just try not to say it out loud there. London's an interesting decision if he comes here, because then you take like the 2 5s out of the way early. Don't have that decision. I don't know how I feel about like elite onesie with like Bowers or something. I think I might just take AJ Brown because he's like a tier break in my mind. Nothing format specific.
Yeah.
It's a tough pick where you're at, man. I mean, it was AJ Brown. There's a lot of good wide receivers. The running backs that you would have to reach on would have been Kyron, Amarian Hampton, Brees Hall, James Cook. Like those definitely, like that feels like doing a little bit too much.
This question from Mr. Nick here. When it says 6 of 8, is it you're thrown in a random lobby on that week, or the top 75% teams of the contest make it through that week? You will be in an individual pod. So there is still pod luck. It's not an overall percentage like cut line for the tournament that gets removed. Which is
good question though.
It is still like, it's what makes the sweats way more fun.
Right.
You know, the cut line is technically more fair, smooths out the variance, but that variance swings in both directions. You can enjoy the pod luck, or you can be on the bad side of it.
Yeah, well said. Man, I think both my picks just went around the corner there.
Jaden, we knew JJFC wasn't going to be denied.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Right,
He was
I wanted
salivating.
Jaden or Kyron there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is elite onesie good? I guess. Like floor from
I go back and forth on it.
I'm taking the Trey McBride quote unquote floor, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think the value is it frees up a roster spot. You know, too, that you can use elsewhere. But
yeah.
Right. Yeah, like I just think it definitely shores up your floor at the QB position. I did a decent amount in the main eliminator, more than I expected to.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, especially with Bowers, right?
Well, I did a few with Bowers. It was mostly the QBs, man. I really liked a lot of these elite QBs week 1 matchups, which, you know, huge condom brain, but
I'm going to scoop the dip on Reek here. Falls to 33, week 12 bye, no overlap. Kind of nice because this other range, it's like Wilson, JSN, Harrison, Evans, Adams, all week 8 or 9 buys, which I don't love doubling up with my first 2 round picks.
Yeah, can't blame you. I'm taking Evans off the news of not that McMillan was going to take a ton of volume away, but when you couple that with the Godwin, you know, lack of news or lack of good news, I think Evans is like a really sick eliminator pick.
Yeah.
And then ideally going to go running back here, depending on what Dabke does. All right. He goes Ken Walker. This for me, so this could be terrible, but I'm taking Trey Henderson over Chuba in the eliminator. Just feels like his role is going to be solid enough to start, but Chuba's probably the safer bet.
I was going to take one of those two, and I kind of was glad I didn't want to do the double week 9 there. So yeah, I am going to do Chuba here. Start with the 3 running backs and then figure it out from there.
I think the fact that it's, you know, such soft advancements for the start of the season makes Trey an easier pick in this. But in the head-to-heads, I prefer Chuba.
I think that makes sense. So Nez starts, JT, Amon-Ra, Evans, Henderson, Igo, Ginty, Bucky, Tyreek Hill, Chuba. John starts, Bijan, AJ Brown, Trey McBride, and now is about to make his 4th round selection with a lot of wide receivers on the board.
Yeah.
It's like all yellow.
I know. I don't want to have another week 8 bye with Connor, but I think I'm just going to do it and then just see what comes back.
You got a lot of time to compare. And it's not in the same position either, which I think kind of makes a difference. You know, it's not like it's 2 of the same position. With the bye, that's when it feels pretty damn gross. Not impossible to dig out of, but that it's just so much draft capital and like really set yourself up behind the 8 ball in that week.
That's what I've noticed from doing a lot of the main eliminator slows with the leg up sims is that you see really big docks for same position buys, but almost non-existent docks for cross position buys.
Oh, okay. That's good
Yep.
to know. I actually
Yeah.
haven't noticed that at all, and I've been using the leg up thing for the slows.
John it's just something on the screen for him to look at while he makes his own decisions.
Pretty colors while I scroll.
Joshua says, is it possible to have two of your own teams reach the finals in the eliminator on underdog and win both first and second place prizes? I think technically possible, statistically extremely unlikely, but technically possible. I mean, that would be a hilarious, incredible.
Just allow yourself to daydream. Oh, go ahead, John.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the most eliminator ass pick in the history of planet Earth.
Oh,
here.
no. Is this Tony?
There's nobody more eliminator ass than a week 10 by Tony Redacted, baby.
Dude, that's a good I take so much Tony Pollard in the eliminator. I mean, I've just passed in my eliminator slows the Tony Pollard range where I was pulling him up. I have like 30% in the eliminator. Wow. Just such a good pick with Spears banged up to start. He's gonna project like crazy to start the season.
Quietest back-to-back 1K rushing season.
The quietest? I can name you one quieter.
No, quietest with two eyes. Quietest with two functioning eyes.
There's just no reason for that.
All right. Man, I do love the Terry value here, but double week 12 at wide receiver is not ideal. Let's break ties away from DJ Moore week 5 and let's grab Devontae Smith week 9 here. Didn't love that spot.
Tate snap calls DJ Moore there. I mean, holy crap.
Is he pushing the plane? He's got the auto.
That was quicker than a plane. Trust me. I'm aware of these cadences. That was way quicker than a plane. I'm gonna go Aaron Jones. Did I get it? I did. Yeah.
What do you guys think about stockpiling week 8 buys? Knowing that 7 is the cutoff line. So you're giving yourself like a high floor, right? So you stockpile week 8. So you're giving yourself a high floor. Then you hit like the bubble and it's like chipping a chair, just fucking push it all in. If you make it through 8, you're like live as fuck the rest of the way.
I mean, the problem, like compared to the other eliminator, like when you stack up week 14, like you're pocketing week 10 when you just torch and surrender in week 14. But in this, like you're getting your money back to get to week 7. So I don't know if you want to go out in a blaze of glory after getting your money back.
Min cash merchant, baby.
Let's see here. I was going to take I think we could do Hunter here. Let the week 8. Don't love that spot.
It's a shame that you have Tyreek on the team already.
I know Waddle would have been a nice click, but double week 12. Dolphins doesn't feel great there.
You get that week 12 bye. There's so much FUD around Hill. Like Waddle feel a little Waddle at his peak. Like peak Waddle, if everything breaks right, could be like poor man's Amon-Ra, where he's like a little bit of a volume sponge in the middle of the field with some breakaway speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And kind of like Nez was saying with the rookies, that they're a lot easier to take on in this format, where if you're getting a little bit of production, but it's a little easier to skate by and then have them come on.
Mm-hmm. I think I like Igbuka, Golden, Rome more in a vacuum, but I think I'm just going to take the week 14 buy of Diggs.
Yeah, I keep flip-flopping on Diggs, where like I was excited and now like I'm letting highlights kind of FUD into my brain, and like wondering, okay, like maybe is it actually bad that he's like 30 years old and off an ACL? Probably, but at the end of the day, dude, I think Diggs, elite eliminator pick. Like like he hasn't missed a practice. Like I'm not gonna believe my lying eyes, which don't even look that bad. It's just like, he's just not in a football game. So I just don't want to get too excited, but yeah, week 14 buys good no matter what, really.
We do got to shout out. You said you could take the 2 QBs out of Big Eliminator strategy, but you can't take the big QBs out of JGFC. Joe Burrow, Jade Daniels. Let's ride.
We knew it. I love it, man. He's so true to himself.
Love it, let it go, guys. Golden comes back here with that week 5 bye. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Rashi, I wonder where Rashi falls in this room, because I don't know that there's a spot where I'm taking him. I don't know what to do.
Because what? Like, his bye realistically hits right in the hardest week, like week 7 is probably when it's like starting to hit. And then you're not going to get him for like all of the ladder pay jumps.
Yeah. Like, what's the point? What's the point, really? Oh, all right. I really like picking at the range that Pete and I are in, but I might not like it depending on what everybody does here.
Mathology, snap picked who I was going to be excited to take there. I think I might get back to a running back. I think I'll grab Jalen Warren here. So week 5 bye, no double ups, should have a nice kind of high floor.
That's what I was hoping would come back to me. I no longer love this range. I think I'm gonna go Pittman. Little bit of boost on the Danny Dimes stuff. Josh Downs is probably gonna be fine, but I would like some confirmation first.
Yeah.
Another week 11 bye, which isn't great because we talked about that bye, but it is across a different position. But yeah, Warren has been like, as soon as pick 80 hits, I just jam Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
Is that a format specific because of the bye, Ness, or is that just like in a vacuum?
Each eliminator. I go Jalen Warren. All right. Reach, Gear, Downs. Yeah, this sucks right now. I don't want to go another wide receiver yet. I'm gonna go Kelsey. I think Kelsey's like a pretty good eliminator pick.
Dude, Tate is just like snap picking here.
It's not even the plane.
I think I am going to go Reed. Like, Reed kind of fits the criteria of like, I'm really spooked off of him in the main eliminator, right when you hit those 1 or 2s. But I think like similar to if you treat him like Addison, like he's going to be essentially on bye for the first few weeks. I like getting him here at pick 88. So quick recap: Nez, JT, Amon-Ra, Evans, and then 3 straight running backs: Hendo, Aaron Jones. Montgomery comes back, gets Pittman, and his first tight end, Kelsey. I got Jeanty, Irving, Tyreek, Chuba, Devontae Smith, Hunter, Jalen Warren, Reed. John has Bijan, AJ Brown, McBride, James Conner, Tony Redacted, Diggs, Golden, and is about to add his 8th round pick. Mr. Nick asking if Judy's moving up for you all in the eliminator with Flacco starting. I had been working under the assumption that Flacco was going to be the week 1 starter all along, so nothing's really changed for me, but I don't know. What about for you guys?
I definitely feel better taking him. So I take him more frequently off that news. I'm not going to lie. I was, but I started doing that a little bit before the news, to be fair, but like as I'm doing my BBMs, Judy has just shown himself to be just like a really nice pick where he goes, and he really has been all along, but I've just recently started to hammer away at my BBM fast. So I find myself taking a lot of Judy right now.
Yeah. It's an eliminator ass pick.
Yeah, kind of is.
All right, there it is. Bill, leave it to JGFC to scoop up Bill there.
Shit.
I wonder what do you guys think the odds were Bill comes back to him at 120? Probably 50%.
Yeah, in this format, I think so.
Yeah, I would take the higher on 50%.
Yeah,
because like, yeah, that's wild. I love it, but that's wild.
Just want to make you guys smile.
That's
wow. You are the puppeteer, and we are the little marionettes, and you are just getting us to do whatever you please, JJFC.
I like the cut pick there, John.
I don't know. Yeah, it felt okay. I was thinking about Sharps at the previous one, and then I was thinking like this is a bad format for Sharps. Like he's basically proven for 2 straight years that he has no standalone value. He's like pure contingent. Only like he smashes when Walker's not there. But like that's the kind of profile I want in like ceiling shot season winning BBM. Like I'd rather have like those mid-tier guys next, I think.
No, I agree, man. I got a player queued up, but I'm trying to look ahead here because Dab's been snap picking. But no, I agree, man. I don't think that he's a good eliminator pick, like at all at cost. It's way too much of an anchoring effect to BBM.
Right.
Who?
Charbonnet.
Yeah.
That's like I'm just trying to think through like usable weeks and game logs. Like every week that Walker's in there, he scores like 1 fantasy point. Like literally 1 fantasy point.
Yeah.
Because like last year, he had 2 usable weeks in 2 and 3 where he scores a touchdown and 2 touchdowns, has like the full role to himself, but he does nothing in weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I mean, the cope is that new coaching staff brings him in more, just to give Walker a rest because there's a new coaching staff. Potentially, you could even point to the foot injury that Ken Walker is like, that they're so carefully nursing that maybe they give him more run that way. Regardless, like it just still doesn't feel like a good eliminator play, at least in the head-to-head eliminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, man.
All right. As we enter round 10, so the round 9 picks, John started with Cooper Kupp there. I went ahead and grabbed my first quarterback, Justin Fields. Nez grabbed his first quarterback, Drake May, came back around and kept his card-carrying membership to the Scata Boys with a Cam Scatabo selection. I grabbed Evan Ingram as my first tight end there at 112, week 12 bye. Seemed nice. And then John locks up Dak Prescott at his QB2. I think Dak after Herbert, May, that looks like a pretty nice selection.
Yeah. I wish I love the Keenan pick too. I think Keenan, that's where I take him right around pick 100. And his ADP is like really high or low. It's 137, but I agree with where Schmo took him. Like I think he's like in that Cooper Kupp, Chris Kirk range. Kirk is like an ADP 118. He goes at pick 99. So a sharp room here. Those are all really good wide receiver targets that I tend to take. So I'm kind of scrambling a little bit here.
What do you guys think of Sheep's 0 RB build in this one? He's got Bowers, Mahomes, no running backs through 8 rounds, and then the aforementioned Sharps, Ray Davis, Jaden Blue.
I like the idea, like conceptually, especially if he just goes with like 6 or 7 running backs here. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think you probably go like 2. I mean, if I was Sheep, I'd probably do like a 2-8-6-2. You got Bowers and Mahomes. Like you spent good capital on Mahomes. I think you make that a 2 QB team. The concept, I completely understand and think is fun. It's not how I play, but like I get it. Like with these easy advanced weeks, like you can totally set yourself up to smash.
Yeah, you backweight the smash job running backs. It makes a lot of sense for sure. I think like from a player archetype and target, I might have chosen some slightly different ones, but I think like from like a theoretical, it makes a lot of sense.
Dude, Tate's picks are registering before Pete can even click the goddamn button.
He's jumping. He's jumping the line. It's like I'm doing a home league draft in person where I go to put up my pick and just right before he just collapses on
it. Like holy shit, man!
Do you guys do that in your home leagues? We play like the jump 'em and everybody starts screaming, jump 'em, jump 'em.
Oh, that's
It's great.
cool.
Oh, it's fun.
We were
Dude,
doing that at the ship chasing meetup because it's like once you see someone take their pick, like you're good. And so you can then go and get your sticker and then you're just hovering and waiting for them to put yours up. And yeah, we were having a lot of fun with that.
I'm
So good.
stressed. I didn't think Dad was going to take Eckler like that far ahead of ADP. I was going to take him, but I got 5, so I should probably just chill. But I really like him in this format. All right. Let's go.
right.
Let's go McCarthy.
I want to watch Tate here. I want to see what is
Wow,
going on? What is the system? What is happening? That is the most blazing speed for a pick I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
And like I know I keep saying it. Like we're all on this site enough to know like when you push the plane, it's like a 1, 2 pick. This isn't. It's like he's doing a bit.
I have never my face is getting melted by every one of these picks. Like I've never seen the app actually moving at the lightest speed when Tate's on the clock.
That's so awesome.
Tate is here, says, "Hey bro, if you play poker with me, I don't like it when people go in the tank." Whatever you're doing is the opposite of going in the tank.
So good.
John, do you play poker with Tate?
I hope so.
Let's watch John and Tate play heads up, and it'll be like in chess, where they're doing the speed chess, and you only have 2 seconds for every decision. Kick it back and forth.
I'm a little bit of a clock bleeder guy. Heads up. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, John.
Not by design, but just because I'm not as smart as my opponents.
Round 11, John adds on Braylon Allen. I find a price I finally like for Jaden Higgins, 129. Nez grabs Mims and then McCarthy. I come back and grab Love stacked up with Reed there, and we'll see what John does as we start the 13th round.
I'm going to take a guy who I think's going to – I don't think Sheep's going to take him, so I can speak freely. But I think he gets a little bit of a boost there with the underrepresented in my portfolio right now, week 9 by Cedric Tillman with Flacco to start the year. Give me some usable weeks early.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, who's the wide receiver 3 in Cleveland? I think it's Deontay, but it's probably is it Thrash actually, or is it Bond?
Thrash.
They just gave Bond $3 million.
Dude, it's crazy that they signed Bond before they signed Judkins.
Yeah,
they both got the news at the exact same time on the exact same day. Maybe there was urgency to sign Bond because he wasn't under contract with any team. Anyone could have signed him. So there was a little bit of urgency there. Whereas Judkins, they can just kind of play the long game a little bit here. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I'm going to grab Hunter Henry here. Love that week 14 buy to bolster a weak tight end room here.
All right, I'm going to take a 6 running back because I like this player right now, especially in regular best ball, but Rachaad White. I still think that he has a pretty decent standalone role, even though they're saying he's day-to-day, so I'm buying that.
Nice.
Nick Chubb's a nice pick there.
Yeah.
At 157. Yeah, Rachaad White as well.
What's the tipping point for Joe Misdemeanor there? 151 feels extremely palatable. Maybe not on a roster where you only have 3 running backs and one of them's Brian Robinson, but in general, I thought about it at 148 there.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take Hollywood Brown. I don't get a ton of him. I mean, he's back at practice now. And I think a week 10 buy here, trying to go catch up at wide receiver. He seems fine.
But to answer your question, John, I just play too scared with guys like Mixon. So I just kind of hope somebody else takes them and that they get a 0.
Sure. Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk goes 161 here. It is really interesting to kind of start comparing Godwin prices to Ayuk. Ayuk goes 135 here.
Right.
I don't know. It feels like either Godwin's too expensive or Ayuk is too cheap because I'm viewing those guys pretty similarly right now.
Mm-hmm. It's just the news, everybody, everybody waits for that concrete news, and then we'll react accordingly.
Elbam
right.
asking if there's been any news on Mixon. Go ahead, John.
I'm torn between. I hate clicking Judkins. I hate clicking Najee, but I also think it's like a pretty interesting tier break of like usable weak guys that are left.
Yeah.
I think Najee is going to be active week 1.
If he is, this is, as you've alluded to, the biggest smash on the board. But even if he only gets like 6 to 8 touches and it is like Hampton's backfield and they really want to give him run because they truly think he's special, like, yeah.
The update here for LB on Mixon, this was from this morning from Casero. He was on like local sports talk radio. He said, no change. Joe's kind of working through it. He's still on the NFI list or PUP list that he's on. We'll take it one day at a time. Joe's working hard, trying to get himself back and ready to go. We'll take it as it comes. So pretty ambiguous there.
Yeah. I mean, at least it sounds like the expectation is they expect to have him back.
Yeah.
So there's that. But it also, they're just like, we're rooting for you. Like, it's, yeah. I would love a timeline. I would love a timeline. And I would love to know what's going on. We also don't know what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Man. Tate snapped up, or no, sorry. Mathology goes Garendo. Watch this speed of light. So I'm going to take Wandale, the most eliminator aspect. Watch what happens here with Tate.
Jeez.
How is that even possible?
What is script, bro? He's got a script, bro.
He's just like the egg game, and I think you should leave him just sitting there, just jamming his mouse, like waiting to.
Either that, or he's doing macro refinement there. I mean, I've just never seen anything like this.
God, it's
truly incredible.
Do you guys think I need a third QB? You don't have to answer that since I'm your enemy here, but Drake May, JJ McCarthy.
I'm debating it. I mean, we're ADP twins with our Fields Love, May, McCarthy duos.
Fields Love, I don't think I would.
No.
McCarthy, May, I might. Put another boring ass white dude on that team and take Daniel Jones, huh?
We'll see.
I
or
think
Slayton.
Yeah,
I think I'm willing. I think I'm willing to take the likely risk here. And I actually kind of like the week 7 bye, right? Because I'm not expecting anything from him anyways, through those weeks too. And it's just like, hey, Ingram and Henry, and then give me some nice upside in the backs half of this. And one of the other things, Chris, his kind of Sims again, really did like 3 tight end build. So getting an upside option there. Yeah.
I was about to say, I regret the McBride pick now, seeing the board the way it is back here. Like all the usable scores that I want to click on right now are like 6 points from a tight end.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, just looking at your team, because the way I think about it is do I need that? Because you can always flex that third tight end, you know?
Yep.
Or that, you know, 2 of them.
Yeah. Speaking of, I was going to click him if he made it before Mathology scooped him up, but just saw Garendo's back at practice today, which is I think even earlier than expected.
Ooh. He dropped big time in best ball. So that makes him like, I mean, we kind of talked about it. I don't know if we did or your previous show, Pete, but like maybe it was off the hop here. I can't remember. Everything's kind of blending together right now in my life, but like really good time to draft your RB teams. It feels like
incredible.
That was us. That was us actually. Now I remember.
Yeah. All right. Our builds here. I got a 2473. Nez has a 2662. John's at a 2672. We got 2 more picks. John has 1 more pick.
Are we? I mean, I know it's not a good pick, but could it kind of be good, an Anthony Richardson pick if you can sneak him through?
I don't see
Anthony Richardson over Dimes.
Like Richardson's just such a ceiling shot pick that it's just so much better for other formats. Like, what's the difference in getting 18 points or getting 25 points from your quarterback when he plays 4 fewer games?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess it's like I like. What do you think the odds are Dimes gets benched? We can answer that after Pete, and then Tate the pick immediately after him.
All right. This is just my favorite thing to watch. All right. I'm going to click here in 2 seconds. Watch this. 3, 2, 1.
Crazy, man.
I feel like there's like a glitch in the system. Like I'm seeing something on the screen I've never seen, having done thousands of drafts.
Tate's in the fucking future, man.
I just wanted to I wanted to send us a video of him spamming his mouse. Like I'm gonna fake him out a little bit.
Ooh.
Unreal.
I don't think you can catch him slipping, dude.
So who do you guys think? So you guys better eliminator pick, Russell Wilson or Danny Dimes?
Probably Dimes, just because of the leash narrative. But I think I don't know. Yeah, it's really close.
Right.
Say that again. I was looking at my wide
No,
receiver
sorry.
option here.
Yeah, and now you're up because I just picked Dimes or Russ. Better eliminator pick.
Dimes or Russ? I think Dimes, because I think you can have your cake and eat it too, right? You can get the start and you can get the finish. Whereas Russ, I mean, we just know at some point this season we are seeing dart, and so you could be taking those zeros late from Russ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough, man. Like, I think Dimes is more likely to get benched than Russ. It's probably an obvious take, but
fuck, man.
Take Richardson, John. Hold the line. Don't ever give up.
Dude, Richardson would be awesome on your team. Kyler and Dak.
I don't see the point. We're down so.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Gotta play the hits.
We're down so bad, man. Oh, I forgot that you guys couldn't see my screen. It was Pete's screen. I was flipping Josh Reynolds and him and being like, I'm down so bad.
Oh, God. You were down bad.
That's hilarious.
Oh, there's no need for him on this team. But I think this kind of doubles down on the notion of why the elite early might be bad.
It's tough to pull off for sure.
It really does depend on the room, and you just have no idea what everybody's going to do.
Like, I'd feel way better if I just went, sorry, Pete. I'd feel way better if I just, if I took out this McBride pick and I pulled up, either Higgins or, Cook. Let's just say I pulled up Cook, structurally speaking, and then spent one of these other picks between Pollard and, it's kind of the same bet, but whatever. It's neither here nor there. But doing, Kincaid and then in the Leggett spot taking, Chig, and then on the last pick taking Juwan Johnson or something, it's going to feel so much better than Trey McBride.
Yeah.
I just don't need the ceiling.
Yeah.
I get it.
Let's each do a quick recap here of the team. So I was Fields, Love, Gene T, Bucky, Chuba, Jalen Warren, Miles Sanders, Reek, Devontae, Hunter, Reed, Higgins, Hollywood Brown, Wandale Robinson, A.D. Mitchell, Evan Ingram, Hunter Henry, Likely. I kind of wish one of my 8th wide receivers was either a 3rd quarterback or a 6th running back. But once those running backs started flying off the shelves, it was kind of just over there. So kind of tried to take best player available. Nez, recap your team here.
Yeah, 2, 6, 7, 2. Drake May, JJ McCarthy at QB. At running back, Jonathan Taylor, Travion Henderson, Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Cam Scattaboo, and Rashad White. Wide receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, Marvin Mims, Adam Thielen, Darius Slayton, and Ray McLeod. Don't sleep on old Ray. And then tight ends, Travis Kelce, Cade Otton, and Theo Johnson. I'm pretty happy with how this team turned out. This is generally how I try to build most of these Eliminator squads.
John, let's hear your masterpiece here.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels okay now that I'm re-looking at it, but 3-6-7-2. We got Kyler, Dak, and A-Rich in the last round. They're down so bad. Bijan, Connor, Pollard, Allen, Najee, Brooks, AJ Brown, Diggs, Golden, Cup, Tillman, Xavier Legette, DeAndre Hopkins, and then Trey McBride and Dalton Kincaid. I think if I had a time machine, I probably don't take Richardson. That was kind of a little too much bid equity there. But time machine, I should rethink elite tight end in this format and probably just spend 3 roster spots at it.
Yeah. I get the regret that you could feel, but like I still think that like McBride has a chance to like really dominate in the Eliminator if you get that elite season from McBride. I think he does have a chance to really kind of vault your teams over the cash line. But I get, like we talked about it, John. Your teams just don't feel as good when you do the elite tight end.
Yeah. All right, good stuff, guys. Let people know. Are you guys running any Membies today? As Wu-Tang gives out 5 Badge Bros memberships here. Very nice.
Beauty. Been too long since we saw our guy Wu-Tang Killer Bees. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. It's gonna redirect you guys from this one straight to Membies only MLB. And Jets is gonna be waiting for us there, Pete, asking what's your favorite stack on the day today?
Wow. Yeah. There's a lot of choices here. Really like what Aaron Judge is doing this season. I'm fading Ohtani now that he's in the business of sabotaging, $100 million real estate deals in Hawaii. I just don't think his heart is in it anymore. So I'll be stacking up whoever is going against Ohtani today.
Ooh, all right. He's on the Rockies then.
I love it.
Hell yeah, I am. That's right. Hometown. Can't take the Colorado Rockies out of me. You heard me. It's going to be contrarian, bro.
You're right about that.
Anything else for you, Nez?
No. That'll be all from me today. I gotta help out Bria with some stuff, and I can hear baby Mello outside my door just screaming. So,
like I said at the top of the show, next week we are going to have a big announcement. I don't know how much John and Nez have teased on various Badge Bro shows, but we've been working on something for a good chunk of the off season. It is going to be very fun to finally get to share this with you guys. We'll kind of do an unveiling of sorts on Tuesday, but let's just say we are very excited for Battle Royale season on Underdog this upcoming NFL year. And regardless of where you're at, having never played, an advanced player, intermediate, we're going to have something that we think you guys are going to love. And so we will leave that as the tease. And also thank you all for the kind words about the YouTube thing. I've seen some questions like, where is it going to be? All that stuff. It's going to be live on YouTube. It's going to be part of the pregame show is what I will be on. And talking fantasy, Brandon Marshall, Derek Carr. There's that Friday game in Brazil. And I'll be out in LA at the studio. I actually earlier today got a pic of what the studio looks like. It looks absolutely insane. So yeah, it's going to be a very fun experience. And I appreciate everybody saying congrats. Time, Pete. Let's go. 3-letter network vibes out here. Except YouTube, baby. People wanting me to wear a tank top. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off. But I know I will not be having to wear a suit, which is kind of the entire thesis of the.
Because you're a fantasy bro, like I'm just a fantasy guy, Here's what you need. Here's what you need to start.
Lord said to me, she was like, She's like, what if you like, because she asked me, have they talked to you about wardrobe? And I was like, they haven't yet. And she's like, well, like, what if you show up and they were all wearing like 3-piece suits? And I was like, I'm pretty sure like that is like the whole vibe they're not going for with this, but that would be really incredible. I'm just rocking my I love wide receivers t-shirt or scroll the F down.
That was great.
Exactly. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm very excited. And yeah, I'll let you know all how it is going. All right, go watch the Membies, Fade Otani, all that good stuff. We'll see you guys next time on Off and On the